Hello and welcome to the Women's Hoop Show. Woo! I ran to record this episode for you guys, mostly because I just have a lot on my mind and I'm so excited to debrief it with you. This episode, we're going to preview the 2025 Commissioner's Cup Final, how we got here, what's at stake when the Lynx hosts the Fever on July 1st, but we're also going to dive into what is going on in the DeWanna Bonner's sudden release, how that throws a wrench into everything that we thought we knew about not only the Commissioner's Cup matchup, but just the season in general. So we're going to dive into it all. Let's get into it. Autumn. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hey,
How
girl.
are you?
I'm great. How are you?
You know, I feel like I have a tinfoil hat on. I feel like I am just going down these rabbit holes for everything that's going on in the league right now. It is not calm waters now in the league.
Not at all. No, you said you ran, I sprinted. So we were both running to talk about this. It is must talk about moment, like about everything that's going on right now with DB and the Indiana Fever. Obviously, that was a huge shiny piece during free agency. And, you know, a couple of episodes back, we were just talking about how this team is a championship contending team. I still think they have the strong pieces, but a lot of that conversation was steered up because of you add of a player like a DeWanna Bonner. So that to me, we have to get into this for sure.
And let's dive in. Like, let's
Please.
put on our goggles, our swim cap, and just dive right in. And here's the thing. So we're recording this on Thursday, 4 p.m. Eastern. And we know that this is very time sensitive news. So there is things that could be breaking while we're recording this or as soon as we're done. But also I want to say we're dropping this episode on Friday, and then quick programming note, we're going to come back after the Commissioner's Cup to get a reaction on that. So our next episode will be on Wednesday. So a little funky, but it's okay. We're here. We're chatting. You'll hear us. You'll hear from us soon enough. But DeWanna Bonner, let's do a quick timeline real quick, Autumn, just to get everybody caught up to how we got here. So DeWanna Bonner was on the Connecticut Sun. And let's remember, let's put some respect on DB's name. She got MVP votes last year. She was averaging over 15 points. Connecticut had a great season last year. That team blows up. Everybody goes different places. And DeWanna Bonner is a free agent, and we are all waiting on pins and needles on where she's going to go. We had thought it was going to be Phoenix. We thought it was going to be some other landing spots, but she chooses the Indiana Fever. And we're like, wow, okay. We all had that same reaction. Didn't see that coming. All right. So much anticipation going into this. It was a big three with Caitlin, Aaliyah Boston, and Kelsey Mitchell. Now you have a big four with DeWanna Bonner. They're on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Everyone's hyped. This is a championship team. 9 games in to the season, DeWanna Bonner is now out for personal reasons. We don't really know what's going on. Everyone's just like, I hope she's okay. She didn't seem injured. And then on Tuesday, Front Office Sports and Annie Constable kind of breaks the news that DeWanna Bonner has no desire to return to the Indiana Fever. And that has been crazy. Everyone goes crazy. Everyone's freaking out because we didn't know what the personal reasons meant. And now we know she's trying to get out. Then on Wednesday, we see that the Fever waive DeWanna Bonner. And then it comes out again, Annie Constable again, saying, don't pick her up off waivers. She wants to go to Phoenix. And that's where we are right now. Autumn, how have you been feeling as this news has been developing from why isn't DeWanna Bonner playing basketball? We miss her
Yeah.
to, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah, still processing, honestly. I mean, like I mentioned, a shiny piece added to this squad to make them even better from last year. And now this is a more experienced team. When you think about just, Caitlin Clark coming in as a rookie, Aaliyah Boston, them trying to have that connection together and all the pieces around them. Now you take that season into this season, add a DB. So for me, it was great. And she was away for about 5 games or so with no explanation. And now we're getting all of this news. It's a lot to process in this moment, but we're seeing a lot come out from the team and DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner herself said the fit just didn't work. This is the third all-time leading scorer in the WNBA. We're talking about a Hall of Famer. She knows her value and she needs the right system to thrive in for that opportunity, because obviously there are more games behind her than in front of her.
Right.
She's in a win now mentality and she wants to be in the best situation possible. With this Indiana Fever team, when she talks about it wasn't a good fit, you look at the numbers, and not even just the numbers, the attempts, only averaging 6 attempts per game, 3 threes per game. And these are attempts, not her averages. So this is a premier scorer we're talking about. And she started off starting and then coming off the bench. To me, this is a player who's like, all right, I need to switch up the situation because this just isn't working and I don't have the time to just sit in this. And, a lot of the teams that are in conversation right now, the main priority is obviously the Mercury. She'd be back with her franchise she started with, but for obvious personal reasons, like her fiance, Alyssa Thomas, is there. So she's on that do not contact. She prefers to play with the Mercury. Obviously, they would have to possibly cut one player, which it looks like they did. A lot of news is coming out. Well, I don't even have to get into that because I thought, for me, if they were going to waive someone, it would be to pick DeWanna Bonner up to, relieve some money in cap space. So obviously we saw a lot of transactions happen that could possibly still be in the mix for DeWanna Bonner to join this team. But it's just interesting with everything going on. I just hope that DeWanna Bonner is well and she gets into the right situation possible, because she deserves that. Like, this is one of the best in the game. She's one of the greats in this game. And for her to end a career off in somewhere where, she's going to end on the highest of notes, she deserves everything and more.
Yeah, and it's been such a interesting time to see everyone's reaction to this, because this is not just any player. And you gave, some of DeWanna Bonner's resume, but 6-time All-Star, number 3 on the all-time scoring list, 3-time 6th Woman of the Year, 2-time All WNBA, and she's a 2-time champion. So I think seeing some of, and maybe this is coming from some of the new fans, saying that she's ring chasing, saying that she's a quitter, saying that, she was slow, she looks old. All of this has been kind of a appalling blowback, because I think what 15 years of DeWanna Bonner has shown us is that she is a top player and she is really good at her craft, and she has not caused any drama or anything in the whole time she's been in the league.
Literally out the way.
She is
one of the nicest people.
One of the nicest people, the quietest number 3 all-time scorer maybe ever, leading in playoff minutes. Like, this is not something that you would expect from her. And I saw, Courtney Williams and Napheesa Heidemann on their Twitch live, which I love, by the way, but
same.
They talked about this situation. They said, we both know DB. She's the ultimate professional. She's never done this before. So something must be going on over there. Like, it's so quick to blame what's going on in the Fever because this is so out of character for DeWanna Bonner.
Yes.
I think that's what's making me kind of have pause, because everyone wants to attack her. And I'm like, she's never done this before. This is not like, oh, this is my 4th team. It's not like Sorry, Kevin Durant. But it's not like she's a Kevin Durant that's forcing herself out of every single team that she's been on. She's never done this before. So I think that was kind of my initial reaction to her personally as a player. Did you have kind of that same reaction?
No, 1000%. I think you beautifully put that like so well, because she came over with Steph White too. Like they've played together, like that is her coach coming over from the Connecticut Sun. They had time together, and they wanted to do this together. I'm pretty sure there's mutual respect there. But sometimes when people say like not a right fit doesn't mean just like the offensive and defensive schemes and the style of what the team is playing with. It could also mean environment too. We don't want to speculate on the situation, but there could be more to the story that we do not know about, and that is totally fine. That's up to DB. And for me, if a player wants to go off and be somewhere and be happy, like let them do that. She has been so much to our game. She's done so much for our game. If this isn't the right situation, that's totally fine. They should have that type of, opportunity for themselves to be able to like take that if they want to. So that's why I said, I hope she's well. I hope all is well with DeWanna Bonner, because this could be a very rough situation to go through, considering the fact that you just picked up your entire life to go to the Indiana Fever, and move in a different franchise and different marketplace. You want to make sure that, she's well mentally at the end of the day.
Absolutely. And, DeWanna Bonner is very much online. So she probably heard all of these comments and the chatter. And she posted on Instagram today, on Thursday, with the caption, "A quitter? Nah, never been that. But when the time comes, quote, let's just make sure the apologies are just as loud as the disrespect," end quote. All caps, in due time, DB. And it's photos in black and white of her working out, because she definitely still has it. Like, that's been the wildest comments to me, that she's washed. No. She's really good at basketball still. And so that part is crazy. But then the other side of it, when we get to her wanting to target Phoenix, and, before reports were like Atlanta was a potential option. Vegas, people were like, Becky, you need to get on the phone. You need to get DeWanna Bonner. But she kind of shut all that out, and people were saying she entered the transfer portal with the do not contact, which I thought was so funny.
The internet is so unserious. Like,
but it's kind of true. Like,
that is very true.
She's now going to Phoenix and saying, hey, I want to come here, figure it out, kind of. And with all of the rules with cap space, DeWanna Bonner was making $200,000. That's what her contract was when she signed. And I have a soundbite that I want to play from the GM of the Indiana Fever, Amber Cox, because she kind of gives a backstory of what was happening from the front office perspective while DeWanna Bonner was out.
Yeah. Do you kind of detail? I think she talked about how it didn't exactly go how she wanted in that. What exactly that entailed for you guys and her?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, DeWanna's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, and one of the best that's ever played our game. We were really excited when she decided to come here in the off season, and as we got into the season, she just expressed that she didn't feel like it was a good fit for her. We talked through that. We had conversations. Obviously, we made some adjustments to lineup, some of the things we were doing. And we just couldn't get it to a place where, it felt good for her. And, so as we got further along in the process, we explored trade options. And then just, it's pretty early in the season. Given the level of DeWanna's contract, we just couldn't find something suitable. So at the end of the day, we respect her status as a veteran in this league. We had the opportunity to bring Ari back around the timing with the 10-day wait period. So we just felt like it was best for all parties to part ways. Wish her nothing but the best. Sorry it didn't work out, but we move on, and we're excited about the team that we have on the court. And
the decision to have her not be with you guys was listed as personal reasons. Was that a team decision or was that a Bonner thing? Both? How exactly would you
I think
characterize
as we
that?
were going through the process, it just felt better for her to step away, again, as we were sorting through what it was going to look like, if it could be a return, exploring a trade, again, it wasn't a decision that any of us made lightly. So it was a lot of conversations. And again, as we got into that process of exploring a trade, and we knew it likely was not going to be something that was going to last the duration of the season, we gave her that opportunity to step away.
So I think the thing that sticks out to me is that, they did try to trade her, but her contract is so hefty. And that's what kind of sticks out to me. At this point in the season, cap space is kind of locked. Like, you have hardship contracts coming in and out, but for a price tag like $200,000, it's not easy to trade.
Yeah. It seems like, too, during that time that we didn't see her for about 5 to 6 games, maybe that was what was happening behind the scenes, trying to make that trade, trying to see where they could send her. It seems like it was a mutual agreement. They tried to work diligently with DeWanna Bonner. This is just from like what I'm speculating. But it seems like they were trying to do good by her to get the best possible situation for both parties at the end of the day.
Yeah. And thinking of that Mercury team and their front office, and I'm thinking now about what they're trying to do and what they're trying to move around to make happen. Essentially, we talked about it, they did waive Megan McConnell, but then they picked up Kiana Williams to fill that spot, probably because they have a game tomorrow. Like, they need bodies immediately as this is trying to iron out. But I think now what is so big about Indiana Fever waiving DeWanna Bonner is that now she's probably going to have to sign for the vet minimum in the Phoenix Mercury, which is $78,831. So to me, that's also a huge red flag of her being like, get me out of here. I'll take the pay cut.
Whatever
as long as I'll go somewhere else.
Facts.
That's wild.
Yeah. No, that's a huge, that's a huge pay cut.
Ooh.
When you're talking about 200 in your 70s, no, that's huge. So I hope all is well with DeWanna Bonner. I hope wherever she gets plugged in, it's successful. And I feel like they poked the bear based off social media, what she just posted. Yeah, we just woke up a monster for sure. So
I know that part does kind of excite me because I know she still has so much in the tank, and I know that there's just going to be this DeWanna revenge tour wherever she goes because that's going to be so fun to watch.
No, I need it.
Ooh.
I hope all works out. We'll see.
Yeah.
And the Mercury, they're dangerous. They got a good thing going over there. Chemistry is on point. We question that squad because, okay, the big three, and then who else? And they're like, oh, this person, that person. This is like, let me name the list for you all the way down. We have it and more. 3-point game, flawless. Defense, flawless. Offense, they got it all. Checking off the box. So plug and play. If you put DeWanna Bonner in that mix, I wonder how that goes. Obviously, fit is still a thing, but like, she's played with AT before. When you look at that Indiana Fever roster, she's never played with any of those players before, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a good point. I was going to ask you, how do you think that does mess up the chemistry? Phoenix is sitting at 3rd place right now. Could that mess things up?
I don't think so. It gives you another 3-point shooter. It gives you another, like, they are so dangerous with the 3 game, like whether it's a handoff or whether it's like pick and pop, like they're doing so many actions around their offense that's allowing them to get these like easy threes, penetrate, kick, whoever. Everyone can like just be a sniper for this squad. And even Alyssa Thomas, that high-low action, Satu also within that chemistry, they're gaining together. This is a very dangerous squad, and the engine is Alyssa Thomas, and she has played with a DeWanna Bonner before for countless years, has gotten to the peak of almost a championship right there, always at the brink of it with the Connecticut Sun. I don't think this is far off when you talk about fit when it comes to adding DeWanna Bonner to this mix. You also have to incorporate a Ka also trying to play within this system with these new pieces. So it's going to be a learning curve for everyone. But I initially do think like it is going to work out for them if it does happen.
Okay, I love that. I think I needed to hear that because I was starting to get in my head a little bit, but I was like,
get out of it.
Why wouldn't you sign DeWanna Bonner?
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you do it? Like, if you have an option where she's knocking at your door with her luggage, like, hey,
I'm opening the door.
Yeah, I'm opening the door. I'm moving some furniture around.
You need something to drink. Sure. You need some food. I got you. Southern hospitality. Yes. Speaking of Southern hospitality, I saw the Atlanta Dream and I got hyped because I'm like, yeah, that would be dangerous too, because Carl Smezko's system with threes. She's played with BG before. She's played with Bree Jones. It's there. So
yeah,
so
I know that got you excited. That
it
probably got all
a little bit
Atlanta Dreams fans excited because it just feels like a DeWanna Bonner lottery right now. It's just the wild, wild west. Like, we haven't had something like this with this type of player at this point in the season. Like, it still just feels so early while all these other teams are catching a groove.
Yeah.
Other teams are trying to figure out what life could look like without DeWanna Bonner if you're the Indiana Fever. And then on top of that, if you add her, like if you're Phoenix Mercury. So, woo! This is my favorite TV drama, the WNBA. I will never miss an episode because it is always so good.
Popcorn ready.
Popcorn ready. Okay, we are going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about Commissioner's Cup because it's right around the corner. All right, welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. We've had some water. We took a deep breath. We checked our phones, our timelines, make sure nothing
happened.
Was breaking news during that break. So we're good. We're good.
Maybe.
Maybe. No, a jinx was. I know something's gonna happen now. But what we know for sure is going to happen and is not moving is July 1st is the Commissioner's Cup final. And now we officially know that it is the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx. And I think I just kind of want to talk about both of those teams, what they're looking like right now, what momentum they have going into this final, what questions we still have. And then we'll take another break, and a little bit later we can talk about the final and any predictions that we do have, because we spent a lot of time predicting a Liberty Minnesota final, but now we have to actually talk about the Fever in Minnesota. So let's start with the Fever, because we kind of have been talking about them, adjacent with the DeWanna Bonner situation. But now we've gotten a taste of this Fever team without her in the lineup. It was just announced today that Caitlin Clark is missing Thursday's game against the Sparks because of a groin injury. So will she be back healthy by Tuesday is a big question mark. But I do feel like this Fever team has picked up some momentum, and especially off of that, Liberty win. They're really starting to hone it in. How are you feeling about this Fever team?
I feel good about them. Obviously the question mark is Caitlin Clark. Will she be in that game? She's a huge piece of what they do when you think about how fast they play, the three ball, that pick and roll action with her and Aaliyah Boston. Everything about their offense is centered around a Caitlin Clark. I imagine, I hope it's rest that we'll see, and she'll be good to go for the Commissioner Cup. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is a competitor. She doesn't want to miss big time moments, big time games. She wants to be a part of that history and helping her team get some cash and also get that cup as well. So I hope all is well with her. I hope she's recovering. I hope it's nothing too serious. And if it comes down to it, take the rest, because at the end of the day, there's so much to the season. When you think about an actual championship for the WNBA, bringing one to the Indiana Fever is the ultimate goal. So you don't want to, hurt anything or hurt yourself trying to do too much too early in the season. But, you know, if during this time when she's away, you have an Aerie McDonald who's going to come in and create a lot of that pace as well. We saw this was a seamless pickup. Like the transition was so smooth adding an Aerie McDonald because of how fast she plays. And the Indiana Fever love that. They thrive off that. They want to get out and run. And that's what makes them so successful when defenses don't even have time to set up. And Aaliyah Boston, hello. Like she's having her best like year so far in her career. It's been so much fun watching her shine this season. She just came off of a career high 31 points. She's been so consistent, so efficient around the rim. She's a problem, and she's only going to get like better and better and better. It's crazy to even think, but I think they have a great thing going when you think about the pieces that they have in the locker room and what they can build off of that.
Yeah, and it seems like I saw on Sydney Colson's story and on Aaliyah Boston's story, having Aerie McDonald back is like, they love her. And it was a seamless transition. It was, why hasn't she always played with the Fever? Like it just seemed like a really, really great fit. And I love that for them. I love how they're able to play her and Sydney Colson in at the same time. And when Caitlin is in, it's just another running mate. Like they can just run the floor so easily. And I think about their schedule, and we talk about kind of the momentum coming into Tuesday's game. So they beat the Liberty, then they beat the Sun, and then they lost to the Valkyries, which was an incredible game. Then they lost to the Aces. So they had a tough West Coast stretch there. Then they beat the Storm. Seattle has been a little up and down. They have the Sparks tonight on Thursday, but then really hoping Caitlin plays against the Wings on Friday.
Please, I need it.
A Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark matchup. So it could be this thing where it's rest for the Sparks game, but she's getting that. And we know what Caitlin does when she gets some rest. So
we love rested
just
Caitlin.
Gearing up. I know, just gearing up. Like she's building her battery back up for a matchup.
Scary time
with Paige, because come on, we need that.
It would feed families. We need it. Like we've been waiting for this moment. Obviously, they've competed against each other before. They've competed with each other on Team USA. Like this is one of the best, when you think about both of them, two of the best point guards that we're going to see for years to come. Whenever these two go head to head, we saw them in the Final Four last time. They went off on each other. Like that was what we need, like in the WNBA. We need to keep it going. So I really hope all is well and she can show up on the court and show out. And same with Paige. Like she's been so consistent. I don't think we're talking about her rookie year enough. It seems like she's been here before. Like this is nothing new to Paige. She's such a pro. And that's just a testament to the work she puts in. Like her mid-range game has been phenomenal. It's been really cool to see how she's getting better and better every single game. And she just looks comfortable out there. So I know we're talking about the Indiana Fever, but I need to see that.
Yes. No, I do too. Because it's when we talk about Caitlin and Paige, it's the record breakers. Like they're now Paige is breaking Caitlin's records, the fastest rookie to points and assists. I think it's 200 points and 50 assists. So Paige is having a great rookie season. And, you know, we've talked about it before. It's just kind of because Dallas is not doing so well that we haven't been putting it too much in the spotlight. But I don't want it to take away from how impressed I am. I think you said it beautifully. The transition that she has made, she was already pro ready. We knew that watching her even in college last year, but her decision making, her shot selection, the way that she commands the offense, she holds her hand up and says, let's slow it down when things just get a little out of whack. Like that's not rookie behavior all the time. Like she just looks like she's wise beyond her years. So yes, that would feed families. So I hope Caitlin is okay, but we kind of also want to see that.
We need it. Please.
We need it. Going off of, you know, the rest of the Indiana Fever, Kelsey Mitchell has been so huge. And we know that Kelsey Mitchell is a bucket getter. Don't think we talk about her enough.
No.
What she does on the offensive end, how she runs the floor, her speed and her agility to get to the rim, but then also to knock it down from deep. It sometimes seems like, you know, these past few games where Caitlin has been off, her 3-point shot has been off. And Kelsey Mitchell's like, don't worry about it. I got it. I'm just going to go off for 20 real quick because we need this. And she just has that ability to go off, it feels like, at any time.
She's a microwave player. I mean, she can get going at any time. She can get hot at any second. And yes, Caitlin has been struggling beyond the arc in these past few games. She hasn't really caught a rhythm since after that Connecticut Sun game, and they had those back-to-back losses. But, you know, even with that Seattle win, she didn't have the best shooting night also, but she still had an Aaliyah Boston. She still had a Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell had 26 points in that game. She went off from beyond the arc with 5 threes. She could not miss. Whenever she channels into this zone, it is game over. So to have those pieces still work for you when your main engine, your offense is off, that speaks testament to, that's a huge testament to like what they're doing offensively when it's not just Caitlin in a sense. Like she does such a great job of not letting that take her out of her game because she can still dish and assist to other players who can get going around her, like that pick and roll with Aaliyah Boston, or making sure, you know, she's finding Kelsey Mitchell in her spots. Honestly, Kelsey Mitchell can get a bucket on her own at all costs. So I love the pieces that they have, you know, working together with Caitlin Clark at this time, trying to find a flow once again. But if we see this commissioner game, like this isn't going to be a slump for long. Like I don't even know if you can consider 2 or 3 games a slump, but cold shooting, we'll say. That's not going to last for long when it's a big time stage, because big time players always live up to big time moments.
For sure. And I think, you know, for the Fever, when they have been in trouble or when they have lost games, what sticks out to you of maybe the things that they've gotten away from that leads to that, or something that Minnesota is running the game film on to make sure that they are exploiting that for this Commissioner's Cup game?
Yeah, one thing about Minnesota, what they do so well is they generate a lot of like their defense and turn it into offense, like steal and score opportunities. And that's something, if they can fluster a Caitlin Clark and try to neutralize her, they know exactly where she's trying to go. It's trying to see, you can't stop it, but you try to neutralize it as much as you can. I think teams who have found success in pressuring Caitlin have been able to, you know, kind of fluster them a little bit in a sense, but also trying to find a way to shut down Aaliyah Boston at all costs, try to push her out the paint, because they dominate in that area. When they can get inside, it's lights out, because Aaliyah Boston does such a great job of burying her defenders, doing her work early, of getting those extra boards. They have to find a way to kind of pick their poison in a sense, because you have that 1-2 punch that can hurt you. And limiting the 3, like if their 3 ball isn't working, that's something that's going to have to be a problem, or it's going to be a problem when you look at an Indiana Fever team, because that's a lot of what they do. And if you can try to slow them down in transition, that's the best you can do, because they're trying to make sure that they're beating people down the court and not letting defenses set up. So those have been just a few of the things that they're like their superpower in a sense. And if they can neutralize that, that would be good, because I think for the Minnesota Lynx, they're so good defensively that they try to really hone in on that and try to take away every single option that teams are throwing at them.
Yes, that was so beautifully said. And I think that's a perfect transition to get into the Minnesota Lynx side, because the thing about a Cheryl Reeve team is that you just know that they do the shell drill at nauseum. Like you just know it. The rotations are so beautiful and so crisp. And I think that is something that they're going to need to ramp up even more so, because when Caitlin and AB are in that pick and roll and they're in that zone and it's 5 times in a row down the floor where she's making pocket passes, so many teams just haven't been able to neutralize it or stop it. And I feel like the Minnesota Lynx, their rotations, their talking, they're just all on a string. And I think it's a little bit of, this is the same team from last year. We know how each other moves. We know where to help the helper. But it's also just this understanding that this generates our offense. Like, we can get half-court offense, especially when we have Napheesa Collier on the court. But when we jump in passing lanes, when we are able to stop the easy passes, create ball pressure, that gets everybody's energy up. Now we're in a full court, fast break, and Kayla McBride is on the 3, and those threes are falling easier. Like, everything just generates kind of around that. And Minnesota pretty much, I think they only lost 1 game in their Commissioner Cup games to Seattle, but they're rolling right now. And the big question mark again is Napheesa Collier healthy? She's been out with the back injury. They definitely miss her because it's Napheesa Collier. But how are you liking this Minnesota Lynx team heading into the Commissioner's Cup final?
I love them. I love it. I love it. I love it. I really hope Napheesa Collier will be in this matchup. A lot of what they do is, based off of what she provides. We saw that in their first loss of the season. So to have a piece like that, who is like the focal point of not just offensively, but defensively as well, they're going to need her, especially when we're talking about Aaliyah Boston, who's going off right now, because who's going to try to contain her? Who stops her? The first person I'm looking at is a Napheesa Collier. When you think about offense, a lot of what they do, as far as like chemistry too, runs through Napheesa. When you think about the pick and roll game, not just with Caitlin Clark and AB, I'm also looking at Napheesa and Courtney Williams, because that is beautiful poetry in motion, how they know exactly where they want to be. You don't know if you need to pick up Courtney Williams because she's going to pop up and hit a midi in your face. You don't know if Fee is going to just beautifully slip the screen and she going to hit it and like just hit you with different type of footwork, actions, moves to get to the rim and finish beautifully. Like, that is hard to guard in itself. While they're doing all this, there's other actions around them, off-ball screens and three-point shooters around them, cutting, moving without the basketball. Like, they do a great job of just making sure they're always constantly moving, and that puts you in a blender in a sense, because you're trying to figure out, okay, who do we need to pick up? Where are they going? Because it's so much going on. And I think that's a superpower that they have, that motion offense, 5 out, making sure they're constantly moving, and the different weapons they have, positionless weapons. That's something that, the Indiana Fever are going to have to game plan for. They haven't seen this team yet this season, so it's going to be new and interesting.
I just got chills just thinking about how much of a clinic this is going to be in the pick and roll.
A clinic. I like that.
It's so beautiful to see. One time down the floor, Fee sets the screen, Courtney Williams takes the midi. Then the next time down, she lobs it into Fee. Then the next time down, she swings and they reverse it, and Fee reposts on the other side. I'm like, this is what basketball dreams are made of right here. And then on the other side of the floor, you can get a little bit of the same thing with some pick and roll action. So yeah, I think it's a little bit of them looking at each other in the mirror like, okay, we might be doing similar things. Who's going to do it better? Who's going to knock down those shots a little bit more? For the Lynx, they just lost on Tuesday to a Mystics team who Shakira Austin is healthy and back, and curly hair Kia has emerged, and we have missed her. So that has been fun to see. But I look at that Lynx team, they only scored 64 points. Like, that is very uncharacteristic of a Minnesota Lynx team. So I want to credit the Mystics defense for that, but that's also where you're really missing a Napheesa Collier, because that's 20 points right there, and they're back up at their average. Like, they're missing her scoring. So they have another game against the Atlanta Dream on Friday, and then they have a game on Sunday against the Sun, and then they have the Commissioner's Cup game. So they have 2 games before Tuesday's game, and I don't know if that's to get Fee's legs back under her or they're just going to rest her until the Commissioner's Cup final. But I also want to ask Autumn real quick, how much is it that the Minnesota Lynx have been to a Commissioner's Cup final before? Like, how much is that a little bit of an advantage for this big stage?
Huge. You've been there before. Like, you know exactly what you need to do. You know, even the hurt, not even the Commissioner Cup, but you know the hurt from the WNBA finals. Like, they have been at the highest peaks. They've been on the biggest stages together. You know, the Indiana Fever team, a lot of new pieces. They're still like trying to plug and play different pieces, especially missing a DeWanna Bonner, you know, adding back in an Ari McDonald and trying to see now, will Caitlin be there or not? So the fact that you're just now getting a Sophie Cunningham, you're getting a Sydney Colson, you are getting all these different pieces. You're not saying all of that for the Minnesota Lynx. Like, they've done it together. All they're doing is like, okay, we've seen that adjust. Like, they're just making tweaks at this point. And that's why we're seeing a well-oiled machine.
Yeah. Whew, I can't wait. Me too. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Let's take a quick break. Let's step aside. But then when we come back, we are going to have to make predictions, even though we both hate making them. But we're gonna have to,
don't put me in the hot seat.
We have to make them. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. We are talking Commissioner's Cup final. Just real quick for Commissioner's Cup format. So the in-season tournament was June 1st to the 17th. Prize pool, $500,000 plus $120,000 in crypto, which I think is so interesting. That's a new little wrinkle this year. But that's for the whole team to split, and the Minnesota Lynx won it last year. So they know what that extra money, that extra check, the weight of the extra check feels like. So they know, they can remember what they spent it on last year. So I think that's just some extra motivation. But we have the Indiana Fever and the Minnesota Lynx in the final. Now we are going to make our predictions on who we think will win. But Autumn, okay, so there's some asterisks because we don't know if people are going to be injured, are they going to be healthy? So I think we have to first say if it is Caitlin Clark is healthy, full team strength, Napheesa Collier is healthy, full strength team. So let's start there. If they are both at full strengths,
perfect.
Do you want to go first? Or
I'll go first.
Okay, great.
I'll go first. If both teams are full strength, I'm leaning towards the Minnesota Lynx. I am.
This is great. Yes.
I don't think that's surprising. I don't think that's shocking. That's not breaking news. I think they are the consistent, well put together, well oiled machine. And their chemistry, like, you can't beat it. The way they move is it's like no other like team that I'm seeing right now. They know each other inside and out, and they can hurt you in different ways. We didn't even talk about an Atlanta Smith, like
I know
a Kayla McBride. There it goes on and on. A Napheesa Heidemann who gives them another ball handler. Like, they are deep and they know exactly what they need to do. They know exactly where they like the ball, like for each other. It's hard to stop. So if Fee's on the floor, I'm never going against Fee.
Very true. Diamond Miller, too. Diamond Miller has been coming off the bench, giving great minutes for Minnesota. So, yeah. I feel that. I think even with the Fever at full strength, and I would say that as well, because, one, it's in Minnesota. That's another thing. They have home court advantage. I think that is something that's huge. Even though they won on the road last year in New York, but it wasn't in Barclays, so it's a little asterisk. But I think that has to factor into it. So I'm also going Minnesota. And I feel like we could agree if it's one superstar is out, I'm leaning towards the opposite team. So if Caitlin
That's
Clark
exactly
is
where
out,
I was going.
then I have
Yes.
the Minnesota Lynx swinging. If Fee is out, then I have the Fever coming out on top. Like,
what happens
that's
when
just how
if
big.
both are out? That can't happen. If both are out, what happens? Like, where are we
Wait,
going?
that's the last
That's
scenario.
another
Okay,
little
so
wrinkle.
if both are out.
You go first.
Oh no. If both are out.
Yikes.
Oh gosh.
You know what? We're not even going to speak that, okay?
I know. I don't want to
We're
speak.
not even going to put that in
we
the
have to
air.
make it. No, we have to make it. We have to make
Oh my
it.
gosh, okay.
I will say, I'll go out on a limb and say if both superstars are out, then I will pick the Fever. Because I
like how you jacked that out, Fever.
As I was saying it, I was like, is that what I want to say? No. I think I'm putting my faith in Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, how well they've been playing right now.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just say that. I already said it. No take backs.
No take backs.
What do you think?
Honestly,
I'm sweating.
No, I am too. Actually, I'm glad you went first. No, now that I hear what your reasoning, yeah, I'm going to double down only because we just saw, Minnesota Lynx lose to the Mystics.
Mm-hmm.
And the Mystics, look, I'm not even trying to say that was supposed to be a winnable game for them because the Mystics, they've been a dark horse sleeper team who have been so fun to watch this year. But
yeah,
I'm using that as my sample size to gauge without Fee and you're going up against the Fever.
That's fair.
Gonna
fair.
Gonna go with the Fever for sure because you still have an Ari McDonald who you can plug and play. And kind of still have that same vibe and feel that you love in terms of pace, in a sense.
Yes. Okay, great. We're on the same page then. Now we just wait to see what the scenario actually will be. I also want to throw out, how many, do you think it is going to be over 2 technicals in this game or under 2 technicals? I think things could get spicy between some of these matchups, and
money on the line. Yeah,
just want to call it out. Okay.
With money, yeah. I call it. Yeah, all the spice is about to happen. But these are competitors. I love them coming out fiery. I love them coming out with just passion that they play with. It makes it fun as a viewer to watch. So yeah, give me all the spice.
Give me all of it. Oh man. Okay. Now I can't wait till Tuesday. Thank you for being my sounding board with all this DeWanna Bonner news.
No, I needed to talk it out
TikToks.
though.
I really needed to talk it out. I made, I think, 4 TikToks yesterday, and someone commented and was like, "This is your 4th video. Are you okay?" I was like, "I'm not."
No, everyone listen. No, make all the TikToks you want, Jordan. I'm here to listen. I need to tap in because I've been seeing all the alerts and whatnot, but the way I've been moving and grooving, it's a lot going on.
Hey, it's okay. I think the craziest part is just all of the comments on my videos of people that we're not about to disrespect DeWanna Bonner. I just want to put that out there. Last thing that we could talk about. She is a phenomenal player, a professional, and we wish her the best, and we hope wherever she lands that it is the best place for her, but we are not going to drag her name through the mud because she is making a personal decision based off of how she wants to spend her 16th season. Other people on the Fever, other people around the league are like, "Oh, this isn't the best fit. I'll wait it out. I'm only in year 4. She's like, "No, I'm in year 16. I don't have time. We are cutting it off now." So I hope
you deserve, queen.
You deserve the world, and we will have our notifications on to see where this all ends up. But thank you for hanging out. This was fun, as always.
Always.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at women'shoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's women'shoops@odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Autumn Johnson. Our producer is Phil Switek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkheiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.